So whether you're an experienced hiker or you're just getting started, there are 5 common mistakes that I see time and time and again. And in today's video, we're going to chat about them so that you don't make that same mistake on your hiking adventure. Let's get started. Okay. Okay, you want to sit there? Okay, I've got Sammy here. I don't know how long that's going to last, but welcome back to my channel. My name's Lucy. Thank you for joining. We're talking about mistakes. We all make them, right? But before I get started, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Every little one helps. I'm Lucy. This is Sammy. She'll appear every now and then. She's my little partner in crime. But yes, mistakes. Hiking and backpacking, it's often the one thing that people get into when they're starting to explore more of the outdoors. They'll get a rucksack, they'll want to head out with their friends, whether that be a day, a weekend, or even maybe something more ambitious, a week, or even more. What's the thing that people start with? Well, they start packing their bag, and that brings me on to the first mistake, which is packing too much. You know, like even on my longest expeditions, take 2 pairs of clothes, one spare if one gets wet. You don't need everything, including the kitchen sink. You know, you don't need as much as you think, and that includes food. Like, people pack a ton of food. They think, oh, I'm going to go walking, I'm going to go hiking up mountains, I'm going to need so much food. The truth is, yes, you'll need, you know, good nutrition stuff like energy bars, dried fruit, but your body can cope. You will have enough energy. So just really question every time, you know, you're packing. You might do one of those arty, I'm rubbish at them, but those videos that everyone does when they're packing, where they lay out everything on the floor, and it looks really organized and neat. I can't do that, I don't. But just think, you know, do you need this? Are you going to use it? So that's it really, is just don't pack a ton of stuff. Really have a reason of why you're going to use it.
You need the whole roll?
What woman goes on a hike and brings 12 condoms?
Okay, the next one is it goes hand in hand really. It's do not over plan, but also have some sort of structure. That may counteract each other, but what I mean by that is, if you're going on an adventure, you've got to be open for things happening. I mean, that's the beauty of it. That's part of why we go on adventures, why we go looking for this sort of freedom. You know, you live in the present, you live in the now. One of these few times that you actually can live just completely take things as they come. So be ready for things to change, plans to change. Don't get uptight and panicked if things do change and don't go to plan, because a lot of the time it doesn't. Things out of your control will make sure of that a lot of the time. But equally, have some sort of structure, so don't go in there completely blind. Structure also means, you know, when you have breaks, we all want breaks. You've got to have breaks when you're hiking, but don't let those breaks get out of control, get out of hand, because before you know it, you sit down, you put your bag down, and you lay down, not putting your weight in your bag, that's what you don't want to do, but you're just chilling out on your bag, resting, and before you know it, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes is gone. When you don't really need that length of time if you're actually trying to get some distance, cover some distance. So keep an eye on the clock at some point, but be ready for things to change and be ready for some new experiences, because yeah, that's what it's all about. Number 3 is practice the basics. Now this means if you're going, especially for overnight stays, overnight backpacking, you need to practice cooking your dinner, getting your stove on. You need to practice putting up your tent. You need to practice your sleeping arrangements, all of this, because if you go into this without having done that, it's going to get to the end of the day, you're going to start putting up your tent, and you aren't going to know, you know, it's not going to be fresh in your mind, it's not going to be second nature of how you do everything else, and then, you know, you'll be wasting time. You might not have the right thing, you may not even be able to use your stove if you haven't done the correct thing. So just practice all that stuff. It will make everything hell of a lot easier when you actually are on your adventure. Number 4 is an obvious one really. It's footwear. Now today I'm not wearing hiking boots, I'm simply wearing my trainers, but I'm not hiking very far. But most of the time you are going to want some sort of ankle support, some sort of boot. If you haven't got too much weight, then yes, walking trainers might do you okay. But either way, make sure that they are worn in. Having feet problems is like the most common thing that will stop you in your tracks, literally. You're gonna want to make sure that you worn them in. So that means, I don't just mean walking around the house, that's not going to do the trick. I mean walking on unsturdy ground, changing the different grounds that you're walking on, going uphill, going downhill. Practice with weight. If you are going on a trip that's going to require a lot of weight on your bag, it's going to change the weight distribution of your feet. So practice wearing your boots with the weight. It really is a different experience altogether. Always pack blister plasters. That's whether you've worn your boots in for many years or not. Somehow those blisters will find a way in some form. So I always take a blister kit ready for it, because oh god, blisters are horrible little things. They're horrible buggers. And number 5 is my pet hate. I absolutely despise when people have Christmas tree bags. Christmas tree bags are when you hang a bunch of crap onto your bag and it's dangling around. So I've seen so many, oh, there's a lawnmower, if you can hear that. Or a lawnmower or a tractor, I don't know, I'm in the middle of a field. But there's these Christmas trees, people are hanging shoes, they're hanging cups, they're hanging their dirty laundry, their dirty knickers, their dirty boxes, their socks. Then there's water bottles shaking around. Don't do this, because as well as looking absolutely rubbish and like you're a complete novice, then it also puts you at risk of things falling. And if you lose your water bottle that's hanging off your bag, then you don't have water, you're screwed, especially on longer trips. Equally, if you're trying to get through smaller spaces or get under branches, things like that, it's just going to get caught and it's going to make everything annoying, and it just does not look very good. So why do people do it? I don't know. But yeah, don't be that person, because if you make sure that your bag is streamlined, make sure all the straps are done up, doesn't look novice-y, you look so much cooler as well, and just means that you know what you're doing a little bit more. So that's what I say, no Christmas tree bags, don't be a Christmas tree bag person. So those are my 5 mistakes that I see beginner backpackers and hikers make all the time, so don't make those mistakes. Learn from the people who have, and we can all progress much faster and have a way more exciting trip. But thank you very much for watching. I am always thinking about the next video, so if you've got any ideas of what I should be talking about, anything you'd like to know, then please do pop it in the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.